We're on our way to MacKerricker State Park in Fort Bragg, California. Before we get there, we're going to take a quick stop here at the Noyo Harbor, where we stop at the Noyo Fish Company for a quick lunch before we go and check in at MacKerricker State Park. Check-in time is 2 p.m. Noyo Harbor is the port and boat docking area for Fort Bragg, California, USA. It is built near the mouth of the Noyo River in the town of Noyo, just south of Fort Bragg. Some of the movies that have been filmed here in the harbor include The Russians Are Coming, The Russians Are Coming, Humanoids from the Deep, Overboard, and Dying Young. This is a hustling, bustling harbor, and you'll find quite a few seafood restaurants here, as well as a fish market where you can get your fresh fish as well as fresh crab when in season. It's definitely worth a stop. This is our first time here at MacKerricker State Park, and so far we're really liking it. We're all checked in and we've got our campsite set up, and we're off to the beach. And to our great surprise, the beach is just a very short walk, and there's wonderful trails and bike paths within a very short distance from our campsite. There's a lot of things to do here at MacKerricker State Park, so we're gonna settle in and do as many enjoyable things as we can and enjoy our stay. I hope you enjoy all the pictures that we're going to be taking. MacKerricker State Park is a state park in California in the United States. It's located 3 miles north of Fort Bragg in Mendocino County. It covers 9 miles of coastline and contains several types of coastal habitat, including beaches, dunes, headlands, coves, wetlands, tide pools, forest, and a freshwater lake. The northern coastline of the park is a long sloping beach, and the southern section is made up of rocky cliffs and flats separating smaller strips of beach. Inland from the ocean is Lake Cleone, a former brackish marsh that was closed off by the construction of a road and became a 30-acre freshwater lake. Here's our campsite here at MacKerricker State Park. And we've already walked down to the beach trail. And actually, we really like this place. That's always like my tagline. We just love this place, and we really do. If you look between those trees over there, that's where the ocean is, and you can see the waves breaking from our campsite. And then there's a long trail that continues all the way around. And we're going to go hike on that tomorrow morning. We've got a wonderful pad here. It's nice and flat. So we've got the lake to the right of us and the ocean to the left, and then we've got the dunes, and yeah, this is really a pretty campsite. There's really quite a bit to do here in MacKerricker. We don't see ourselves having to go anyplace for the next 3 days. Everything is walking distance to the beach or riding. The bicycle trails here are fantastic, and the walking trails are really nice. There's benches all the way through and that sort of thing. It's pretty, huh, Ron?
I really like this campground.
Yeah, I do too. Oh, and somebody left us flowers from the previous guest, so whoever sent us flowers, we thank you. We're barbecuing ribs for tonight right now. That's what's going on in there. So let me continue on with my story I was telling you. So much of the northern section of the park is occupied by the Inglenook Fen 10-Mile Dunes Preserve, a sensitive dune complex with wetland and terrestrial vegetation zones. Laguna Point is a peninsula near the middle of the park. The 10-Mile River marks the upper boundary of the park, and several creeks run through the landscape and into the Pacific Ocean. The headlands are covered in grasses and wildflowers. Wooded areas just inland have strands of bishop pine, sure pine, and Douglas fir. The park contains 95% of the entire distribution of the rare Mendocino spine flower, which grows in the protected dunes of the Inglenook Preserve. Animals in the area include harbor seals, which haul out on the rocks to sun. Gray whales on their annual migration are visible from shore between December and April, providing whale watching opportunities. Other mammals include black-tailed deer, raccoons, gray foxes, and occasionally mountain lions. There are many forms of tide pool life. There are more than 90 species of birds, including migratory waterfowl and permanent residents such as ospreys, great blue herons, ring-necked ducks, and mallards. The tidewater goby is an endangered species of fish that lives in the local creeks and rivers. Some of these waterways were recently designated as critical habitat for the fish, and the park may be expanded to preserve it. Now here's just a little bit of history. Indigenous peoples of California, including the Pomo and Yucay people, lived in or traveled through the region, utilizing resources such as seaweed, shellfish, and acorns. The Mendocino Indian Reservation was established in the area. Canadian newlyweds Duncan and Jessie MacKerricker moved into the area in 1864, and they hired a staff of native people to work on their ranch, which produced butter, potatoes, and draft horses. In 1949, their descendants sold the MacKerricker property to the state of California, which made it a state park. Here's some camping and picnicking info. More than 140 campsites accommodate tents and recreational vehicles. Family campsites have restrooms nearby, tables, food storage lockers, and fire rings. 2 group tent-only sites can accommodate up to 40 and 60 campers. To reserve between March and September, call 1-800-444-7275 or visit www.parks.ca.gov. This is a neat little beach that we found on the trail, and right now it's high tide and it's earlier in the day. We end up coming back to this spot at low tide, which in this case was 5:30 in the afternoon, and I hope you stick around because you're going to see some of the most amazing tide pools, and we enjoyed walking and beach combing all through the area. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Stick around. Those are all undertows or currents that are pulling out. So if you notice over on the other side, you don't see the foam on top. That's because you don't have that current. So here are. Really big waves right here. These are breaking right on the beach. Here comes a nice one. Ooh, look at that. Are those short legs? Where you get a big, huge swell of a wave and it curls and drops. The beauty of the ocean. So we're sitting here on the bluff on a log, watching the ocean here at MacKerricker. Just a few minutes walk from our campsite, which is really kind of cool. Now this is low tide on that little beach I told you about quite a ways back on the video. Anyway, we really enjoyed browsing through the tide pools. They're absolutely gorgeous. on low tide here on MacKerricker, and we're over here in the tide pools. Absolutely gorgeous. It's about, maybe around 6 p.m. right now. The lowest of tides will be at 5:30. When we were out here earlier in the day hiking, boy, the water was all the way up high on this beach. And now look at all the tide pools. We're walking out through them. You can see the sea urchins, the hermit crabs, little baby rockfish. Really, really cool. Really a fun evening going through the tide pools. Heading home, we drive through the little town of Mendocino, which is just so cute. And then we hop on Highway 128 and we stop in the Redwoods and we have a quick lunch and then we head on home. Until the next time, you've been road trekking with Row and Low. And if you enjoyed our video, please do subscribe, and that way you'll be notified when we place new content. Thank you for watching, and happy RVing. We're up here on Highway 128, getting ready to leave the coast from Albion, and we're heading back up to Petaluma, but we thought we'd stop here in this gorgeous redwood grove, and we're having a little luncheon here before we proceed. It's so pretty in here.